Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where we are currently incredibly out of steel, I think. No? No, there's not actually a problem here. Okay, I'm not sure why that popped up briefly there, but we're incredibly close to getting our cruisers done here, and we're just going to start finishing up all of these small statistical upgrades for our ships here. German-Portugal capitulated. That's a different one. Interesting. So they landed in a different spot this time. They're still going to get kicked out of here, I'm pretty sure. We'll see how that goes. Greater Portugal is, I think, not going to last very long. But we'll see. Of course, once again, we're not recruiting any divisions at this time, and so we're not running into the bug. So that's fine. And we're going to back off probably on our tanks here pretty soon. We're currently making heavy ships, carriers, destroyers, and submarines. We're also going to want to be making cruisers here soon. And I think we're going to want 2 dockyards to work on cruisers. But I'm not entirely sure where those are going to come from, if I'm honest. That's going to be real interesting. I was definitely expecting to be able to get 2 more dockyards. Oh, wow. There's actually been some pretty big gains in India. We'll see if they're able to rally and drive that off, but they've been pushed back pretty dramatically. Little bit of awkwardness going on up here, too. That's, I guess, reasonably expected. I do hope that the Allies are able to push back the German Empire here. But currently they're not. But we don't want the German Empire to get too strong here. It's already very strong. And I'd really, really like them not to take over India. Armor-piercing capped shell finishes up. And we are then going to grab... Let's see, we could grab the super heavy battleship hull just to not forget that it's there. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to grab the super heavy armor-piercing shell at this time. There we go. So, how is Germany doing? They have 2 million manpower. Interesting. They're reaching their max of deployed troops. They're not going to be able to deploy more troops soon. I don't like the German Empire pushing here, though. That's definitely true. Not a fan of that one at all. So I guess we'll see what they end up doing. We don't really have a say in this. It is what it is. And mostly a big part of the reason for Germany's success is that there are currently essentially 2 allied factions. You've got the Allies and the North American Association, and they're at war with each other. That's the primary reason for that. And then there's the Pact of Rome out over here, of course, and they're at war with the German Empire. And we like that. That we like. But we don't really like the Allies falling over here. More specifically, we don't like the German Empire getting access to all of this manpower. That's what we don't like here. I think the British Empire bit off more than they could chew with Burma. I think that's very clear at this point. Okay, well, if that's the case, that's fine. Our magnetic detonators and our cruiser hull is going to be finished up here in 23 days. Our goal is not necessarily to fight Germany, to be clear. Our goal is to fight Japan. And we'll get there. How are they doing, anyway? They are at 2 million manpower currently. Okay, I hope that the fight between the Germans and the Japanese ramps up soon, but that the Japanese are able to hold them. That's the goal. I want them to do a bunch of manpower and equipment damage to each other without significant territorial gains or losses for either side. That would be what we really want to see over here, which is exactly what's happening here, but they have very minor combat, it seems like, that's been happening. It doesn't seem like there's a whole lot going on there. This is concerning. Germany's been pushed a bit over here, I think. And Portugal refell. I'm not surprised by that one. Okay. Sounds good. Well, our researches will be done in 10 days. So that's not too bad. There's definitely fighting along here, but it's not the really intense fighting like what's going on over here with Burma. Man, they only have 19 to 41 divisions, so they have a similar number of troops as we do, and the British just can't crush them. And they're giving up India to do this. This is really questionable. Really, really questionable. This might be a good pocket clear for India if this is set up correctly for that. We'll see what happens there, but the magnetic detonator and the cruiser hull finish up. So that's great. We now have all of our chassis types, and we're then going to grab the homing torpedo. I'm just going to research it for now. And then we're going to grab... Actually, let's wait. Let's go into production, and we are going to do a build ships with the 44 cruiser hull. We're to create a variant off of that. Now, I said previously that we want our cruisers to be primarily like anti-air screening. So we can have anti-air guns, anti-air guns. This would be anti-air guns. This one would be an anti-air gun. And this one, we're going to go for like... Can we go for a dual-purpose main battery? Yes. Something like that, which can take down some anti-air, but also do some light attack. I want this to be very, very heavily specialized into being anti-air. So that's an anti-air module there. Our FCS is going to be FCS 3. And then we're going to definitely take radar on this. Cruiser engine 4. And then a dual-purpose secondary battery. And for our armor, we're going to run cruiser armor 4. There we go. Something just like this. Extremely focused on anti-air. So we'll save that. That means that we have 24 naval experience. And I do want to start producing these. So I'm going to pull one of our destroyer shipyards over here. We definitely need this to go a little bit faster. I feel like this is okay. But producing 0.28 per year, I'm not really okay with. Like, that's slower than our production of heavy ships right now. So I'd love to get one more dockyard working on this. That would be, like, the dream. I don't want to pull them off of here. I guess for now, we'll leave it like this. I'm not super okay with it, though. Now, we do need this research slot filled. We don't have the naval experience to speed these up. That's okay. We don't need it for now. We're going to grab the electric torpedo. There we go. We get homing and electric torpedoes, and the super heavy armor piercing shell. Cool. So I think India is falling. I think that they are pretty much done. They held off Germany for a long time. They still have manpower, but they're crumbling. And that does make me very sad. Maybe Britain sends them reinforcements. I don't know. We'll see. I kind of doubt it, if I'm honest. So we're finally seeing a bit of movement in that war. But we're also seeing our technology finishing up. Oh, actually, we need a little bit more steel here. So we'll bring in a little bit more steel. And what does that put our actual production at here? I think our cruiser production remains the same. It does indeed. So absolutely ideal here, I think, would be essentially something like this. If we had those dockyards. That'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 additional dockyards. That would be nice, to be sure. Sadly, we're not going to get them. We're just not going to get them. And that makes me very, very sad. But it is what it is, so that's okay. As far as our ship production goes, it'll work away at that for a while. For the time being, we still want to finish out all of these statistical upgrades. They will take a while. And we have 196 air experience right now. We want to wait to upgrade these. So essentially, what we'd want to do is we'd want to take like our carrier fighters, right? And then we would create a variant of this kangaroo here, I think. Or no, the Firefly. A variant of this Firefly. And we'd want to get this completely maxed out, most likely. That would cost $375. Okay, so now we know how much air experience we need to get that done. That's fine. Cool. So all of this is reasonably okay. I would love to increase our number of dockyards by 50%. That would mean that we would need a lot more steel and a lot more tungsten. Or rather chromium. So that would be awkward for us. But at least like this, we're getting some amount of production, right? Some amount of production. And we'll have cruisers done, a cruiser every 4 years. It's just not great, right? It's just not great. And there's nothing we can really change over here. We're in early mobilization. We could go down to partial mobilization, actually. Done. I thought we were as far as we could go there, but apparently not. For war economy, we have to be at war. Okay. For extensive conscription, we have to be at war too. And we don't want to go to service by requirement if we can at all help it. So that's fine. We are working on naval production for our focus as well. So that's all well and good. These cruisers, what's the manpower of them? 1,400? Okay. Honestly, we probably wouldn't be able to maintain the manpower requirements of having this at full production here. Is what I'm thinking right now. India has capitulated, which we're disappointed by, but we're not surprised by that. This pocket of Japanese shogunate here is very interesting to me. I hope that that means that Japan is going to come into conflict with Germany very extensively here. I hope that's what happens. But we'll see. How many ships do we actually have produced at this point? 5. We've got a carrier, we've got the HMAS Australia, and then we've got 3 destroyers. Okay. Not exactly a carrier group, but I'm going to split this into a new task force. There we go. And what do we want in this? Well, like I said previously, we want 2 carriers, and then we want... Okay, there's our super heavy battleship piercing shell. But for now, we're going to go with battleships, and we're going to go with... Let's see, do we want heavy cruisers or light cruisers? What are we making? We're making cruisers. I'm not sure if this is considered a heavy cruiser or a light cruiser. Or both. I'm not sure if it actually matters. Okay. Where's our other reserve fleet? Here it is. Okay, I want to make that into an actual fleet here. And I want to add in battleships. And we're going to do heavy cruisers. These will be our anti-air. So we'll have that be signified with, like, this. The battleships are our guns. There we go. And then we'll do destroyers. So destroyers are anti-sub. I guess I'll mark that with mines. And then submarines. The submarines are just death. Anti-capital ship. Okay. So this would be our task force here. So we would save this as a standard carrier group. There we go. And this is going to take a while to build. No doubt about that. For the cruisers alone, 16 years at our current speed. That's not necessarily great. Not going to lie about that. We'll put Harold Farncombe in charge here. And we'll start working on that. Of course, we do need to work on our armor-piercing medium cap shell. There we go. And our researches are now all quite a ways away. So that's a little bit awkward for us, but that's fine. So as far as this actual fleet goes, we don't have a ton. I'm surprised it's not automatically pulling the destroyers out of our reserve fleet here. Oh, it's because we're not set to automatic split off, and we are disabling, or we do have automatic reinforcement on. That's interesting. I did expect it to actually fill that up. Well, we can take these 3 and assign them here. This did not group them together. These are in a different task force. I always find this system unintuitive. Okay. We want to merge the selected task forces. Wait, what? Did they just vanish? There are no other ships here. I merged the task forces. And now they're just... No, it's here. It moved into the reserve fleet. Okay. Very strange. Yeah, I always find this system really unintuitive. So we're going to try doing it this way? No, it doesn't work. Okay. Cool. It's so unintuitive to me, and I don't know why. It feels like it shouldn't be. So now there's 2 task forces here. But no, I want them to just come in here and join this task force. That's all I want. So if we merge the task forces, now it worked. I did the same thing, but it worked. No. They got kicked out of there and immediately moved back in. Okay. China has claimed Indochina. We finished up a submarine. But apparently... our leader here is not at all interested in these destroyers. Considering that he immediately kicked them out. Yeah. We don't really want the Australia here. Yeah, he immediately kicked all of them out. Very strange. So why is he doing that? Is it because we're flagged as outdated? All of our ship types are flagged as outdated. That shouldn't be the problem. So what's your problem here, buddy? Oh, we have 2 destroyers in here. Okay. German Portugal has recapitulated. it'll be lost soon. So, I'm definitely confused about why we can't move these destroyers in. That's very strange. They should automatically move in, I would think. So clearly I have something set up wrong here, right? We get rid of these destroyers, and we put in new destroyers. Like that. Does it work? No. No, it does not. Okay. So I'm not exactly sure why it's not liking our destroyers. That's very strange. Well, it does like our subs and our carriers. The Anarcho-Republic of Cuba has capitulated. Okay. This may be something that like a game restart would fix or something. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on with that one. That's very strange to me. The entire naval command system in this game doesn't make a ton of sense to me, but here we are. We are producing additional ships, and it'll be a while until they get done. For sure. Our heavy ships are underway. It takes us about a year, or rather about 3 years, to produce a single heavy ship. Luckily, we only need 3, so that'll only be 9 years. Our carrier hull is actually progressing reasonably quickly. Our carriers are going very well. So we can produce 0.41 of those per year. Takes us about a little over 2 years, actually, to produce a carrier. So that's not too bad. And then, of course, our cruisers. Takes us 4 years to produce a cruiser. I would like to continue to increase this, but we just can't get more dockyards. I still find it very strange that you're not able to demolish a factory and replace it with a dockyard. That's very weird to me. I don't understand that. It feels like you should be able to. But apparently not. Also, it feels kind of weird that dockyards and factories take up the same building slots, if I'm honest. They aren't usually built in the same locations. So there's that too. Usually factories are somewhat less in the water than a dockyard. Regardless, that's fine. We are continuing our production of these ships, and we're actually producing quite a number of fighters at this point. Our fighters are going pretty well. I do want to hop over into here and see about how do we put an air wing onto our carrier. That's an interesting question. Can we do that from the strategic air map mode? No. These are based at this airbase. Oh, there is an airbase in the HMAS Captain Cook. Got it. So these are Firefly Mark 1s, and these are Blackburn Firebrands. I think that's fine for the moment. So that's how you access that. That's good to know. Armor-capped medium shell finishes up, and we're going to immediately work on the small caliber semi-armor piercing shell. I'll go ahead and spend naval research on that. Or actually, we're not done with our naval doctrine, are we? No, we're not. So we should not spend that on that. Okay, good to know. It is, however, time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, I will continue to be confused about navies, I'm sure. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all the channel members for making this video possible, including Casserole, Sigma162, JJ Gamer, Ken2In, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Video Games Are Not Real, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Kadra, Raw Potato, El Michi Nazi, Justin Everett, Emiliano Cameron, Martin Lawrence, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.